Hello, Nick.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
You know, I'm pretty good. I am pretty good. Bambi's here too. Give him a little cameo.
Hello, Bambi. Thank you so much for allowing Nick to do this.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who's the first person that comes to your mind when you think of an alpha male?
Joe Rogan.
That's a good answer. That is a good answer. I'm shocked your response wasn't Walter Weeks.
Oh yeah, Walter Weeks. We all know Walter Weeks.
Or Myron Gaines.
That sounds like a name that isn't real.
Well, we can meet these real fellas because they are the hosts of one of my new favorite podcasts, actually. The Fresh and Fit podcast.
Hell yeah, I love this podcast.
That's right. And if you just look at them.
I'm a little intimidated.
Arms crossed. I mean, the only way you can make this picture better is if they were back to back.
Yeah, and they didn't just have like a wholesome smile on their face.
I know, they do look, for being alpha men, they're a little too cheery.
That's the one thing that I will agree with, is that it's at least a cute photo.
I was going to say, if you had no idea what this podcast is about, that picture alone, you'd be like, they look like stand-up gentlemen.
Yeah, I would be like, this is a pro-exercise podcast about like helping have a healthier lifestyle, and they look like nice guys.
Which you're honestly not too far off, because if we go to their about, welcome to the Fresh and Fit podcast. Welcome, y'all.
Welcome.
The world's #1 men's podcast.
Wow, I didn't know. Congratulations to them. I didn't realize that.
It's boys only in here.
Yeah, it's a boys only club.
They provide the truth to females, fitness, and finances.
And freshness and, well, fitness. They already said fitness. So do they provide the truth to females? Do they give truth to females? Because I thought that was a men's podcast.
They provide the truth to men, and then they aggressively explain that truth to women.
Okay, yeah.
I will let you know, I listened to about, probably in the past 2 days, probably a solid 4 or 5 hours of their content. You might be thinking maybe it's one of those situations where, you know, it's a grower. It's a grower, not a shower. And I'll tell you, it's not. It's not a grower nor a shower.
No growing, no showing.
I thought maybe I would like them more after a while. No. But I wanted to show you this podcast because, first of all, obviously you're a big Joe Rogan fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course. I mean, have you seen the stuff I talk about? He's the best.
Yeah, I've definitely watched your videos before. You do a lot of podcast episode reviews.
Yeah. I'm a big podcast reviewer. I usually touch on any kind of podcast there is, and I'm pretty loose on the definition. Like we just started a podcast.
Every time more than one person is talking, you got yourself a podcast there.
If there's only one person, I don't count it. Curtis has got that very, really good thing. I think that's like, edit your YouTube videos, dude.
Why are you spending time talking by yourself?
Long ass YouTube video.
That's usually my problem. But as you'll see with the Fresh and Fit podcast, not too long, a solid, 3 hours, 20 minutes.
That's how long I usually like my episodes to be.
I want my episodic TV to be like movies.
All the free time I have in a day, I just want to devote to caller asks how many STDs the girls have had.
This was one of my favorite titles. Are men or women at fault for single parenthood?
Wow. Okay. So we have to pick a side.
And I bet you'll be shocked at which side they pick.
I wonder what consensus will they come to? I wonder.
I listened to a couple full episodes. I found out that they do have a clips channel. Okay, this one. Her fat ass can't lock down a high value man.
True.
This one made me laugh. More women will die alone today than ever before.
Doesn't that mean the opposite is true also? Because one, there's more people, and two, doesn't that make more men? Are more men gonna die alone? Or are they saying that so many women are so picky? But then if they're so picky, then how are the men not dying alone? I have some thoughts,
But also, this title kind of sounds like a threat.
Yeah, they're like, more women will die alone
Today, like this day, right now.
than ever before. Jesus, man. Pump the brakes.
All these titles, I understand why they get clicks, especially on YouTube. When, like a 13-year-old, their parents are like, we'll take the parental controls off of YouTube.
Yeah, you're all grown up.
And then the first video they click on is, these bimbos deserve to get kicked out.
Wow, so many questions.
So many questions, and out of the clips I watched, they don't really answer a lot.
Man, there's so many. I've been through so many alpha male YouTubers that like I'm recognizing so many of like the male guests I see here.
I guess I should do a little backstory. These guys were like alpha male TikTokers.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
They were really popular on TikTok and then they got banned.
Yeah, there's probably some crap, some woke SJW crap.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they just don't want to hear the truth like Myron destroyed her with this fact about men.
Wow. What fact could it be? Damn.
Not getting sex? Kick her to the curb immediately.
Oh my god.
You want to watch some of this? I had to, so I'm going to make you one.
Let's watch the first video.
So, the first video we're going to watch, chicks don't realize their role in society.
Yeah, dude. They really don't. And I assume this is about how they don't realize that they don't need to be in these traditional relationships, you know? I love women and I think they're good at a lot of things. It's like, why can't they be doing the jobs we're doing? And I feel like it's probably what they're talking about here, especially because it says hashtag hose right above that.
Yeah, hashtag hose and hashtag fresh and fit podcast.
I'm going to start putting my own name in the hashtags.
Let's see if that's the side they take. Intro, banger.
That's a banger.
Yep.
That's
and we don't want hoes. And
as
as a man, we don't want hoes.
exactly.
And it's been that way since the beginning of time.
Traditional, but understand that although women were more traditional, sure, they just kept it hidden a lot better. But you can't act like, oh, they're so different now. All y'all hoes. When it's like in reality, they were hoes too. But it's like now it's just.
She's making sound points.
That's a great point. That no one's really changed. It's just the fact that they, it's easier to be public about it.
Yeah, society's more open. Yeah, I agree 100%. That's kind of a based take.
But even to add something to that, what would be wrong with it if they did change?
That's another very good point. Who cares?
It's like, yeah, why even have that conversation in the first place? I guess we'll find out.
No, not to the degree today. We literally have women running around my wet ass pussy.
Yeah, never mind. He shut down your argument.
Yeah, because of that song.
Because that song that came out, yeah, so true. I don't have anything to say about that, actually. He shut everything down.
Yeah, that song that was huge and was only listened to by chicks. That's how it was like the #1 song in the country.
They're all looking at him like, what did you, because like what did he say at first? Like he just kind of said some like gibberish and then went,
I gotta hear it again.
No, not to the degree today.
Not to the degree today.
Oh yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, that's what she just said. She just said, yeah, it was private, now it's not. Obviously, you're not going to see that stuff because you couldn't do it.
And, like, you would be vilified back in the day if you did that.
Yeah, you'd be, like, hung in the town square like a witch.
Yeah, but
you realize 40 years ago that would be completely unacceptable?
But men have been rapping about their dicks for, like, 60 years. I listened to that stuff. I grew up on the trap.
Male promiscuity and female promiscuity are not the same.
He's just saying the statements that, like, don't have... He's like, but what about this? They're not the same. It's like... Okay, what about this? They are the same.
It's like there's no like scientific fact behind this.
Yeah, what does he say? What he needs to make a point. Like that's not an argument. Just saying no because that's wrong. Is what he's saying.
Anytime I watch a political, like a presidential debate, my favorite part is when they go no.
Yeah, they're just like no. It's like, wow, he got him.
The only difference between male promiscuity and female promiscuity is that now female promiscuity is a little bit more acceptable, like outside. Before, a woman talking about that, like when Foxy Brown was out, all of that other stuff.
You can see his face whenever he realizes she's making a good point.
Yeah, we should have gotten someone that was a little more of a pushover on the show today.
That little eye turn where he's like, oh.
That stuff wasn't as relevant. It wasn't like as acceptable. Like people had to pave the way for that. So now that the way is paved,
but it's not acceptable for a reason.
About it.
He's just saying statements that are like without, let's say I was in the shoes of the alpha here. My argument would be, it's hard. You got to kind of wrap your brain around it. Women being in their own place and staying out of pop culture left a balance in the economy because not everyone was trying to make it big. Now there's going to be a collapse. I'd say some bullshit like that.
But here's the thing. It's not acceptable for a reason.
Yeah.
Because female promiscuity has dire consequences.
Dire. Another thing where he didn't dive any deeper. It's bad because it's different and there's dire consequences.
Makes it sound like it's life or death.
This is pointing us towards a bad future. It's like, dude, they already have been doing that, like she said. It's just that people didn't know it was like a thing because they're dumb.
And do you understand why a lot of female rappers don't let their kids listen to that music because they're not supposed to grow
up
on
that proves my point even
music.
further.
Exactly.
What's the
argument here?
What's the argument then?
See, he sigma'd her.
So originally his argument is like there's dire consequences. Like he ended up just backing off his argument and just going, well, it's less acceptable because there's gonna be consequences. And it's like, that's not what you were saying though. You're saying that men should be able to be promiscuous and women should not be able to be promiscuous.
The vibes are off. Anytime I want to have a good conversation one-on-one with someone, I make sure that there are 6 other people at the table.
Yeah, and that they all agree with me too.
It's my show, so they definitely don't feel any pressure.
I'm not going to be challenged on my own show.
No, but I'm agreeing on the part that like, okay, all I'm saying is that you were like, oh, it's social, we should be equal, etc., etc. And you're like,
no, I said that's what society says.
That's what society says,
but it's incorrect.
right?
See, men and women should be equal.
He was like, stop right there. He's like, don't make that claim about me. I never said they should be equal.
It's like when you say something stupid, but then you're like, wait, let me clarify. And then you just say something even worse.
I wasn't saying that that you should be able to say the slur. I said the slur.
Yeah, you misconstrued my whole argument.
I wasn't supporting someone else who said it.
It's me. I should be able to say it.
But as a man and a woman, like a woman's gonna play a woman's role, a man's gonna play a man's role, and everybody likes what they like. So the world.
But a woman's role, whether women want to accept it or not, is to not be promiscuous if they want to land a man.
That's true. You're right.
Long term.
That's true.
Why did everyone turn around and agree with that?
I know. This is why I put this clip in here. Because
it's so sad.
Change. I know, it's so sad.
It went from being like, oh, he's being challenged, and then it's like, no, yeah, women. The end goal for women is that they have to land a man, and I'm speaking for all men that no one wants a promiscuous woman.
No one wants a woman that's ever even kissed another man.
I've never heard anyone talk about how they are attracted to Riley Reid, the porn star.
Never.
Because she's promiscuous. No one likes her. To be clear, I think she is an awful person. I don't want people to be like, you're praising her. You're praising her. Like, I think she like assaulted someone. But like, that is a huge thing in like, if you've ever been to public middle school or high school, that's like the joke is that like everyone's obsessing over these porn stars. Promiscuity isn't something that like, when I'm like, normal people aren't like, this is what I'm looking for in a wife. Someone who doesn't show her body and doesn't talk about sex.
And also, that's kind of boring.
So boring. Why would why would that be your main thing?
I'm gonna put the Sigma male grind set music behind me. As a dude, we're fucking horny. But women shouldn't be horny?
Yeah. What? Why? And then it's like they have that whole narrative about like us dudes are horny and we need our women. But then it's like us men don't want a woman who's horny and promiscuous. It's like, isn't that what guys are attracted to? Like, we constantly talk about how they make the same arguments where they're like, these people on TikTok are only successful because they're showing off their body and they're being promiscuous. So it's like, which one is it? Do guys want people who are promiscuous or do they not? Because you're telling me you don't want one, but at the same time, you're talking down about women who are very successful because of their promiscuity, which is okay.
So what's the argument?
That's true. Okay, then we came to an agreement.
No, but you didn't. Oh, man. Don't take that.
That's the problem. Because they weren't in agreement still.
And then they're acting like it's on her. But really what happened is they like all pressured her into backing off because he has the same talking points that he does every single show. And it's an alpha male is always going to beat out someone who isn't prepared to take on a debate because they twist their words until they end up agreeing.
And I feel like she would have kept going if one of her, I'm assuming she knows these other people.
Yeah, I assume
if
too.
one of them backed her up.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. But that's what I wanted to show you on that one. This is a shorter one. Short for this clip's channel is also almost 4 minutes.
These clips are packed with content.
Oh yeah, this is no chick will ever tell you this.
Whoa.
This is what no chick is gonna tell you. I'm gonna break this down for y'all.
Hit him with the record scratch.
They love their sound effects on this show. They are a big fan of them. My man's got the Steam Deck.
Dude, I got mine right here too, you know? I might honestly just in my YouTube videos just start, like, I usually use sound effects for stream, but if I can just get some good ones just for YouTube videos, just start hitting the sound effect button, I feel like that would be pretty epic.
Whether women want to accept it or not, they know deep down their value is 1000% derived from the way they look. I'm gonna say that one more time for you guys, all right?
Okay, I have a quick question. What about like, you know how there's YouTube channels where they like don't show their face? Like,
yeah, like an ASMR channel.
Yeah, like ASMR, like even gamers who like don't put their face on screen. So it's like any women who's like successful off of that Or like even off of doing any occupation where it's like not like, what if you're a doctor?
Dude, they only got hired by the hospital because they're hot.
Yeah, it's true. I guess, yeah, now that I think about it, every doctor I've ever had that's a woman is just smoking hot, like a model. And that's so confusing to me.
I don't understand this argument.
Based off of him, he's saying, well, the not as good looking men can get by because their value is not based off their looks. But if you're a woman and you're not good looking, you got no value. So I bet, are they all homeless or something?
Yeah, 90% of America's homeless population are ugly women.
Because I know I might have some feminists or some other career women that that's not true, Byron. That's not true. Okay.
Oh, he got us.
He called us out.
Damn, we lost. He 4D chessed us. We're just feminists.
I wish I didn't pause, because then we wouldn't have embarrassed ourselves.
No, everyone knows we're feminists. Damn it.
Women's value is 100% determined by the way that they look, okay? That is their primary agency. Everything else comes after, okay? So women know deep down that their looks define their value. There's a reason why they take care of what, they wear makeup, they wear their hair down, whatever it is.
You know when women be putting their hair down?
Does this guy live in 2005? They put their hair down, sexy dresses when they go out. It's like, dude, what do you live in, like the movies or something? Like, this is not like, men do that too when they go out. They try to look nice. That's a thing.
You think when he got his hair cut, put on the nice hoodie, those cool looking headphones, that he wasn't thinking about how he looks?
Hell no. Because his value is defined by him
having a penis. That's his value.
Whatever it is, and why the makeup industry, regardless of how bad the economy is doing, never goes down.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I never thought about that. The industry never goes down.
Also, I feel like that's just not true.
No, I mean, the stocks always go, like, what does he mean? Is he talking about like the accumulation of like every big makeup company's stock? Like, it's a product that people constantly buy. It's like saying why the deodorant industry doesn't go down. It's like, it's a daily thing.
Did you ever notice during this pandemic, grocery store stocks never dipped?
Yeah, and I believe that too. I'll just take your word for it.
Also, hair salons, nail salons, clothing stores, etc. There's a reason why women are 80% of the consumer base, and they spend a lot of their expendable income on making themselves look better. Why? Because they know that their value is determined by the way they look.
I fucking love buying new clothes, new shoes, a new hat.
Yeah, I love a new hat.
Anything where I'm like, yo, this is gonna make me look cool. I love that. Who doesn't?
That's why people buy things. Because it's like, I do the same thing. I get a haircut because, that's why I don't buzz my head and I go and I get a haircut instead. Because, yeah, it's easier and it's free for me to buzz my head, but I'm going to look like a jerk off and everyone's going to make fun of me for having a bald head because that I shaved myself for the next 2 months. It's like, he's proving his own point, because obviously we all know the reason that women do that is because there's a societal expectation, yada, yada, yada. We all know this. And he knows this too. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just another grifter that's feeds the same talking points, and he makes $100,000 a month just peddling to like 13-year-old boys who like want to hate women also.
Yeah, this guy is like if instead of politics, Ben Shapiro got into dating and sex life.
Yeah, I'd love for him to do that though. Yo, what's his favorite type of sushi?
I thought that was an interesting question to throw in the middle of this.
Now that we know what a woman's value comes from, let's talk about why attention is so goddamn important to them.
Says the guy with a podcast. I need people to listen to me talk for 4 hours a night. He's like, attention is so important to these girls, but not to me. It's like, dude, the only reason he does it is for clout and for money. Like, that's what attention is to him. Like, it's currency.
The reason why attention is so goddamn important to them, guys, is because for the female sexual strategy to work, aka getting the best guy that she can get, she needs to be able to validify that she's doing the work, right? That the work that she's doing is going to lead to a good outcome. And she does that by propping herself up, becoming as sexy as she can be, and seeing how much attention she can get from men, okay? And that right there makes her have a sense of happiness.
Literally, that makes everyone feel good.
Yeah, I'm watching this and I'm not really having trouble grasping what he's trying to say.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that starts a sentence and it's just like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure
we'll
out.
see where we get with this. Yeah, he just goes and goes, and I'm like, this isn't like a new. You're just telling me. It's like how Jordan Peterson talks, where he just like says something that like people will post a clip and be like, "Yo, facts," and it's just Jordan Peterson for 5 minutes telling you like you should make your bed every day, and I'm like, I'm like, dude, yeah, sure, I guess, but he turns into this long-winded thing, and I'm like, I get it feels nice to make your bed. Yeah, I agree with that.
It validates her. It makes her. It helps her appease her ego, and it gives her a rough indicator of where she stands in the sexual marketplace.
There's a sexual marketplace?
Yeah, it's right off of Main Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got off of Main Street in Townsville.
Yeah, it's where the old Walmart used to be.
Yeah, the sexual marketplace. Yeah, that place was the best.
Now, unfortunately for you guys, in 2021, what's happened is, since we live in a globalized sexual marketplace, right? Women get attention from men all over the fucking world now. So a girl that's a 6, right, is going to feel like she's an 8 or a 9 because she's getting so many DMs, she's getting so many thirsty comments.
If we listen to the point he's making here, whose fault is that they're getting so many DMs from dudes?
Yeah, the overlying question is always like, okay, even if your point is right, which it's absolutely like,
it's not.
It's just a shitty double standard. Like, who cares? Are you mad that you can't do the same thing? Or like, because he does the same thing. Girls probably DM him, and because he has clout. Like I'm sure if you asked me to rate myself before I was on YouTube, and then you asked me to rate me now, because there's people who are like, oh, you're cute. I'm like, okay, maybe I am a little cuter than I thought I was. That's like how it works.
I know. He's like, now 6s are feeling like they're 9s. Everyone should feel like they're a fucking 9 out of 10 at the least. You should be very confident in yourself.
Now, this guy shouldn't be, because he's too confident that he has a podcast now.
She's getting so many requests, etc., and opportunities from potential suitors that she's going to have a certain sense of self-worth. Now, the thing is, guys, is that women literally cannot operate unless they're getting attention. They can't.
You are on a podcast. He's on a podcast 3 times a week.
With 2 guys. It's just 2 guys.
If you have a podcast, you cannot complain about people wanting attention. I think that's a rule.
Dude, it's like the whole platform. And then you bring women on your show for views. So it's like, you're also using that to your advantage. So it's like, what are you complaining about? Like, you use thumbnails where girls are like, what's my body count? It's like, yeah, you're using her for your own attention.
Okay, this is the last video, and I think this one will put us in a better mood here.
Hell yeah. Oh, TJ Academics.
Well, remember the first video we watched with the one girl who kind of, pushed back on him a little bit? This is like that, but what should have happened.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fresh, great idea was don't tell Myron until today. So we walk in, you first see Brittany Renner, and we're thinking you're probably gonna be like, okay, shit, we're gonna have this great debate. But you said initially, you're like, I don't think there's much to really like debate. Why?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've always said it, like, men and women, we're very different. We have opposing goals.
Also, he says the same thing every fucking video.
Yeah, and he just spews bullshit. It's funny because you can tell he's just trying to figure out how to say, like, I'm too scared to, like,
I don't want to debate.
Person. Yeah. He's, like, so freaked out.
Yeah, he's like, well, most people I would argue, but, today men and women are different.
It's like, whoa, yeah, man.
Like, girls are trying to, get resources, time, attention out of guys. Guys are trying to get sex. And girls, a lot of the time, are trying to get...
Love that face.
The gym cam.
Yeah.
Just, like, look right at the camera.
She went all Halpert on us.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. That was so funny. Just this random ass angle that we haven't seen yet. She's like...
Yeah, I don't know. They have a weird side camera.
Yeah. Like, not even in focus. Just, like, this random ass camera off to the side. Just, like...
what they need to get out of dudes without necessarily giving it up. And some girls are good at it, some girls aren't. And then there's other girls that are kind of models for that are good at finessing dudes. And not to say that you're a finesser, I ain't saying that, but girls are able to, run laps around a lot of guys. And that's why our podcast exists, to help dudes out to understand, like, how women operate and how they move.
What is with these angles? Get 2 cameras. You don't need a guy hanging from the rafters.
What are those cameras called where they're like
on the slider?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they get these cinematic angles with, like, the fog coming through. It's like, dude, we don't need that. Like, just show me I honestly just keep this angle.
This angle.
I don't need this guy hanging from the roof and being like...
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying
no,
obviously you do though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So tell me about girls like me.
Just
Humor
women
me.
in general. Like, I mean,
Well, no, don't women in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
This was an off-camera
that
conversation.
you did say that
That's true.
you warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
Oh, I was just about to ask the same question. What is this plain bred, like, just everyday alpha guy? Like, what? This is the most boring man I've seen in my life sitting in front of me.
Yeah, I know.
I never hear anything. I don't know anything about his personal life. I don't know what movies he likes. I don't know if he plays video games. I know he shows up for a podcast 3 times a week and says the same thing over and over again.
You know what I bet one of his favorite movies is?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Fight Club.
American Psycho.
Let's go, dude.
It's always the same ones.
Always.
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
like,
So-
you're like other women that are
So
like...
what makes you special then?
I never said I was.
She didn't say she was either.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't get.
She just said that you said girls like me, guys need to like avoid or whatever. And it's like, and then he went and said, she said, what are girls like me? You're just not special.
Yeah, she didn't say I'm special. I'm different. If you have a podcast, you have to think you're a little special.
Like, of course. Like, this, do you really think this guy doesn't think that he is like on the top of the world? He's got like this huge podcast. Like, he's on DJ Academics.
Giving advice.
Yeah. Like,
You think you're special enough where you can give advice to teenagers on YouTube.
But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from... Like, a lot of women operate the way you do. Which
And
is,
how do I operate?
in general, what I just said before, women, it's a dance between the two genders. Men are trying to get sex. Women are trying to get resources, time, attention, whatever it is that they're looking for. And a lot of girls play the game better than guys. We talk about this openly on our podcast. And we're teaching guys how to not necessarily get finesse and get what they want out of girls, which a lot of the times is intimacy, but they're not able to get it. But girls are easily able to obtain money, time, resource, attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes.
I'm still trying to understand what the fuck he's saying.
I literally have no idea what's going on.
Because like you think he's getting to a point, and then he just goes on to another thing where you're like,
Yeah, he just like moves into this other area and does it and completely stops what he was talking about before. And I'm like, I thought we were talking about why he thinks he's special and why this girl isn't special.
Which is why podcasts like ours exist.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in extracting, as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Is his mic on? I swear the other mics are on and they're just catching it. I think they forgot to turn his on and they're just using the audio from like the other
they are.
mics.
They 100% are.
Like it totally is. They just forgot to plug it in or something. That's so funny.
Yeah, to a degree, sure. Yeah. I mean, like, a lot of girls want to do... I mean, well, here's the thing. You've been so adamant about me being incorrect, and I don't know, and you don't know me, and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
I hate the condescending way he speaks.
Like,
to
why do you have to
people.
go into it like that?
Yeah.
You know? It's the globalization of the sex market economy and in this game we call life. You know? Men and women are different, by the way. And in terms of, like, marketability factors, I feel like there's a fallacy there between like you know, the marketplace of giving and, you know, the seller quantity of, you know, the give and take of what we call what market value average, you know. You're following me, right?
I'm 100%.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I own bitcoins, so I love NFTs.
Did he put out new merch? NF? I got his new tee. Dude, I love NFTs, dude.
The production quality of his merch is so good.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that big of a rapper, but everyone's got his t-shirts now.
And I guess I'm a gold digger. And so all girls
All right,
like
let's
that
bring
friend of
this
that.
back full circle, because you're speaking with a lot of emotion right now, and to be honest, you're not really making a point.
That's what you do.
It's like, that's your job, dude. You have nothing to say. You can't just... Oh, it's such a fake-ass, like, argument. Like, he's not saying anything. He hasn't said a single point the whole video.
You're saying a lot, but not making a point. It's like literally
Yeah, that's like the
That's
embodiment
you.
of what Mr. Fit does.
That's what you do. The amount of times I've had to sit and say, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Yeah, it's astounding.
I said at the top, men and women, it's a delicate dance between the two genders to get what they want.
He did it again.
This is the 4th time he said this so far in this one video. The
Every
dance.
Men and women, you know.
They're different. We've got a philosopher in the building. This has nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's not arguing about the differences between male and female. She's arguing why you would insult her.
Correct? I said men want sex, women want resources, attention.
That's called being a human. That's why we do things for resources.
Everyone wants that.
Dude, why do you think I work? I need food. I get money so I can buy food and I can pay my rent. That's a resource.
I would love a commitment, you know, like someone to be happy with. That sounds amazing. Who wouldn't want that? Fit. I get Fit wants to. Instead of more women today are dying alone. It's gonna be Fit.
Yeah, because he does not take resources and he does not take attention. He doesn't need any of that.
You are playing the game to get what you want out of the relationship. I'm playing the game to get what I want out of the relationship or temporary relationship, whatever it is. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm special. That's what I'm talking about. You could say you're special in other regards, but I'm talking about between men and women. That is the game. That's how it is.
No, hold on.
They cut off Fresh.
Dude, the one time he was like, actually, I have a point to make. Okay, end the video. We ran out of time.
Fresh is about to go off. Don't let him do that.
Yeah, we don't let him talk.
I know it's not, but hopefully it was somewhat of a learning lesson for them. I know it wasn't.
I think she did a fine job, but I just think in terms of like their bullshit, like he has this way of like, whatever point you make, that's not what we're talking about. And it's like, you can't prove me wrong because that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I learned one thing. Men and women, they're different.
So true.
Non-binary people don't exist. Don't clip that out of context. If they did, then, you know, it would screw up the sexual marketplace or whatever.
It would destroy that. The Dow Jones of sexuality.
Yeah, the Dow Jones.
Oh, but Nick, thank you so much for suffering through that with me.
Oh, of course. I am tired. I am defeated, but I think we did some good work here today.
Hopefully they don't take my video down because they have a tendency of claiming people's videos, but they'll never see this.
They're gonna see it all right.